Hello, instructions for nursing staff with name range. So it's very similar to the previous, but we're going to use name ranges instead of selecting, for example, LPN and RPNs that title D5 to D30. So go ahead and open the attached workbook. So before we do any of our calculations over in row N, I'm going to select the column title, which starts with D5 all the way to D30. And then I'll click in the name box and type title. That was the name of that column. Then I'll select the CEU column, which is H5 to H30. Click in the name box and I'll call it CEUs. So click away, and I always test them to see if I did it correctly. So I'll click the down arrow. There's both of them. If I select title, it should show me that range that I selected and called it. And then if I check CEU, it should work. Okay, so now that the name boxes are correct, I'll click into cell N5. And this is, again, the count if for both of these. I'm looking for just RNs and just LPNs. And then I'll look for the combination of RNs and yes to CEUs. So I'm in N5, and I'll use recently used formulas because I'm using the count if. So this one is asking, what's the range? I called the range title, and you can see them all showing up here. And what am I looking for? I'm just going to type RN. And I'm getting the 0, but I'm going to click OK, and it should be that 16, just like the previous assignment. So now I'll do the same thing for LPNs, and I call that the name range title, and I'm looking for LPN. Licensed practical nurse, and then click OK, and it's the 10. So now I'm looking for, and I think it's 11 and 8, RNs that have a yes to the CEUs. So this is recently used. I'm going to use count if S because there's more than one criteria. So the range, I want it to look on the title column and look for RN. Then I want it to look at CEU column, and I want yes. And if I had more, I could keep going. So again, it's showing 0, but when I click OK, there's my 11. So now for LPNs, I think it was 8. So recently used, count if S. So the range and was title. Instead of typing D5 colon D30, I gave it a name. I'm looking for LPN, and then for CEUs, I'm looking for yes. And it's still showing up 0, but when I click OK, it should be 8. And there they are. So that's getting the same information, but using, instead of the cell range D5 to D30, I gave it a range name, and you can see both of them right here. If you ever wanted to adjust them, or if you only went D5 to D29, you would go into Name Manager, and it shows you right here. You can make it larger, you can make these wider, so you can see all of the values in each of those, the title row. It even shows you what range you selected, D5 to D30, H5 to H30, so you can either edit them, delete them, or create a new one. And that's in the Name Manager. So you can't delete it from here. You have to go into Name Manager or edit from here. And that's a save and submit. Thank you.